Hi, welcome to Your Town. I'm Jess Rhine, your host, and also the director of the United Way of the Upper Ohio Valley. There are so many events in this community, and most of them benefit nonprofits, and nobody knows that better than our guest today, which is Olivia Litman. She's the marketing director for the Wheeling Convention and Visitors Bureau, and she helps bring people into the area by promoting everything that's going on here, business-wise and event-wise. So thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
What's coming up in the city?
What isn't coming up in the city is what you should be asking at this point, because our little fingers are constantly typing to update that calendar of events. But, you know, we've been busy. You know, we're very fortunate in a town of our size and a county of our size to have the amount of entertainment that we have. Not to mention, you know, we are regionalists, so we like to make sure that we are promoting things in Marshall County all the way up to the top of West Virginia, so people stay a little bit longer and they enjoy everything. But I mean, we have so much going on. I mean, everyone kind of goes back to Heritage Port as the place to be, right? But we're really fortunate now that that's not the only place for events. I mean, we have Market Plaza, we have Center Market in South Wheeling even, and then never ever underestimate the powers of Oglebay. But even up here at the Highlands, I mean, they have a great a community that's starting, and they are starting to entertain people and get people up here from Quaker Steak and Lube to our little Wharton Circle here that they're having. They even have events. They actually have one coming up this Friday.
Yeah?
Yep.
There are so many events in this
Party
valley.
on the Circle, I believe it's called. Yeah.
Party in the Circle? Mm-hmm. I love that.
Yep, they'll have a band out here, and all the businesses will be open later. Yeah.
I think for a while venues was a big topic in the Ohio Valley. Not enough venues. But I've seen a lot of creative ways that people have been using places like the waterfront, the Market on Plaza, or the Plaza on Market right now is such a nice spot for different events. The United Way holds 3 events, and we hold one at Center Market, one at the riverfront, and then one at the Market Plaza as well. So there's a lot of different venues.
Nice, yeah. So, and there's even more, you know, because that's just the outside venues, right? But no, there's a lot of stuff going on. We just had the Greek Festival and, of course, the Italian Heritage Festival. And then we're moving into the Ronnie Green race, which is currently right now the last year for that. He is retiring. And so come out and support that and see what all the fuss has been around all the years. And he has supported really great organizations throughout the years with that. And then we also have, let's see, the Blues Fest. I mean, that's huge. I believe it's in its 22nd, 25th year.
That's really big for tourism, right? For bringing people.
It fills up almost all of our hotel rooms, and it has for a lot of years. A lot of people don't realize just the talent that's down there. It's got a local stage and it has a main stage. The main stage is from Friday at, I think it starts around 4 o'clock and goes through Sunday at 11 o'clock. But they're Grammy award-winning blues musicians, and they look forward to coming here just as much as we look forward to them coming here. And then they have the local stage. It's set up in between sets, so you're going to see a little bit of all. And Bruce Wheeler has done a wonderful job with the Heritage Music Blues Festival all these years, and we have always supported it because of its ability to bring visitors in. Over the years, we've actually taken a trolley around to all the hotels to bring people to and from, because, you know, a lot of people like to come into a city and go to an event but not have to drive.
Right.
So we've done that over the years in the past, and we will do it again. The COVID changed a little bit of how to use you know, transportation and stuff like that. So we'll get back into that. But there's just too much going on. So.
Yeah. Well, the Blues Fest is something that people don't take advantage of if they're not blues fans. They don't take advantage of the festival. But I have known people locally over the years wondering what you mentioned. What's all the fuss about?
Yeah.
So they've gone down, they've really enjoyed it. But our restaurants...
It's a 3-day festival for like $130,
right.
You know, and you can buy single-day tickets. Even if you're not like a blues fan, you're a music fan, I'm sure, of some sort. And blues is like a combination of, you know, there's some country, some rock, some soul. I mean, everything's in there. And I mean, that port is packed and people are dancing. So that's what all the fuss is about. It's not just about the music. It's about a good time overall. The vendors are very excited to be there. The boats are lining up Heritage Port. So in terms of tourism, it's the perfect picture opportunity.
It is. Yeah. And then the restaurants, not just the ones downtown, but throughout the community, really benefit too.
And you know, I've been noticing downtown, because a lot of people have always taken advantage of the availability to just decide if they're going out to eat or not, or to grab something to eat even before a Capitol Theater performance. Right. you're not just doing that anymore. You need to plan for that. You need to make your reservations. You need to make sure that you're going to be able to get in, because there's usually a waiting list, and that is all great things.
Absolutely. What's coming to the Capitol, speaking of the Capitol?
It's so crazy because normally at this time it's dark.
Yeah.
And that's because our proximity to Pittsburgh and the outdoor festivals, and people don't want to come. But we've been getting a lot of calls. I'm sure everybody's seen recently, we just announced Baby Shark. So for all of you with little ones out there, that's a big deal, right? Kids shows are always really a big deal. We had America. That was really a great turnout, and something different that people wanted for all these years, and it was a rental. So, win-win.
Something like that's really exciting for me. I didn't go to it, but I was coming through town at that point, and to see downtown alive and seeing people spill into the Capitol is something that's actually really beautiful and reminiscent of older days. So when there are people funneling in there, I love that, lined up the street waiting for their tickets.
And it's kind of crazy because we have been really working hard to update the Capitol Theater in so many ways. And we are very fortunate the city just blessed us with some money to finally do some very much needed capital improvements. When I say capital improvements, that means make sure the building doesn't fall down. Like foundation work, stage work, the fly system. Those are all things that are very hard to get funding for because it's the nuts and bolts, it's like bricks and mortar stuff. And now we are getting that, and it's crazy because we can't even start that work because there's so many shows planned. A lot of the shows, though, I can't really even talk about yet.
Oh, that's exciting.
It is exciting. They rent out the theater, and things are what they call penciled into the book. And they will let us know because they've rented it, the promoters, when we can start kind of announcing them. But I can tell you, just go to the Capitol Theater website, which is Capitol Theater Wheeling, TRE in theater, wheeling.com, to check all that kind of stuff out. I'd also like to take a minute to discuss that our website is really a great resource for everyone, local and visitors alike. You can go to that at any time. We also have an app to download straight to your phone, and you're going to see everything that's going on all times of year. And it's kind of crazy because sometimes you get annoyed because you have to keep scrolling if you're on your mobile device, but that's only because there's so many things going on, from, salamander watches up at the Schrader Center, to Sunday concert series, to the Brew Fest, which is coming up in August as well. So lots of cool things.
Well, I think that I probably visit that calendar of events minimum 3 times a month just to see what's coming up, or if something's coming up that weekend, where can I take the kids? I'm constantly scrolling. So if you want one database where you can find out everything that's happening here, that's your resource right there. And the website again?
Visit wheelingwv.com.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on. It's always good to talk to you.
I know. This was easy.
Yeah, it is. Just talking about Wheeling, a place we love.
I know.
And up next, another place I love, which is actually my home. We're going to be speaking with Scott Reager from Marshall County, and we're going to be talking about the Chamber of Commerce. We'll be right back.
My name is Jonathan Howard. I am an associate with Premier Commercial Real Estate Services in Morgantown, West Virginia. So I double majored in marketing and entrepreneurship at West Liberty. I also had a minor in geography because I figured I wanted to go into the real estate realm. Originally, the whole reason I actually got an internship with Metro was because of the fraternity, connections in the fraternity, and that's actually how my initial first step to getting down in Morgantown was actually through the fraternity. The reason I like to jump out of bed in the morning and come to work is probably because every deal is so different. In the residential world, I was dealing with a lot of people that wanted to buy a house, but in the commercial world, dealing with a lot of businesses that are either starting up, they're expanding, or maybe they're just really big, massive nationals like Aldi, Michael, some of the big names we have down in Middletown that I'm kind of getting to watch and learn how these deals come together and how they work. I'm Jonathan Howard, and I'm proud to be a Hilltopper.
Welcome back to Your Town. I'm Jess Rhine. I'm the director of the United Way of the Upper Ohio Valley, your host for Your Town, and a proud West Liberty graduate. And I'm here with Scott Reager with the Marshall County Chamber of Commerce. That was one of the first boards I served on. Did you know that? I did. Yeah. I did know that. When you started and we all started to transition, that was one of my first boards. But I learned a lot about Marshall County and moved there about 11, 12 years ago. And the way that I felt most connected to the community was through the Chamber of Commerce. truly believe in chambers and what they do for the community, business-wise, personally. There's a lot to do, but you've got to come to the table, right? That's what we always talk about. So what are some of the events you guys have coming up?
The next big event we have is August 19th. We're doing a Putts and Pints in the Park at Grandview Park. So it's glow in the dark. It's going to have a twist to it. So each hole will be played a little bit differently. We have sponsors. One of them that you're going to like is going to be sponsored by the Nailers, and you're going to play with a hockey stick instead of a golf club. So we've got different things. We're going to have karaoke. We got t-shirts for sale. We got souvenir mugs. It's going to be a networking event. We're just trying to put something together as a social and bring some people in and showcase, Grandview Park and the Chamber.
And Grandview Park is a beautiful place to showcase. It's the unsung hero of the valley. If you have not been, you can just drive up and walk around and take a look. And the trails are there if that's your thing. But even if you're not real big into hiking or the outdoors, the views from that area are beautiful. The restaurant's great. They have ice cream. The putt-putt course is super cool. There's a great playground for kids. And I'm excited that you're taking the adults out on the putt-putt course. I think that'll be great.
It'll be good. It'll be just good to get together. Just having the adults, like you said, networking, bringing some other people that's maybe just not Marshall County people, but maybe a Hyde County, Belmont County, they'll come too. So Grandview Park's growing. I mean, they put the RV park in there, so that's helping. They're redoing their pool this year, so things are getting better and better, I think, up at Grandview Park.
Yeah, and I saw the map of what it's going to be beautiful.
Yeah. I think it'll be a huge attraction, and that's going to help that restaurant out even more, the cabins and everything. So I think it's really coming together. We do summer concerts up there. Of course, they do concerts too on a regular basis, so it's really growing.
And then zip lining and their aerial course, that makes me a little nervous, but if that's your thing, that's the spot to go. There's a lot of outdoor adventure in this area, and Grandview Park is, I think, at the forefront of all of that.
Absolutely. They've done a great job up there.
So what else do we have coming up?
We're going to do our tailgate. We do a tailgate party coming up on September the 22nd. We'll do that up at the View Bar and Grill. That'll be WU taking on Virginia Tech, so we're excited about that coming up. We got our annual dinner, which will be October the 12th. Our guest speaker this year will be Gordon Gee, so we're excited about that. There's a lot of different things. We have a lot of different business after hours scheduled coming up. We do a state of Marshall County. That'll be in September, and we hear from the different organizations. We'll hear from Marshall County Schools. We'll hear from WU Medicine. We'll hear from County Commission. We'll hear from RED, tourism, and just give us an overview of what's going on in Marshall County.
Yeah, and if you want to know what's happening in other parts of this area, we're a whole state, the Panhandle, sometimes we're a little segmented there, but if you're in Wheeling, you're in Ohio County, Brooke County, Wetzel, Tyler, it's really important for you to know what's going on in this community, and that's a wonderful event and a great group of people to listen to what's happening.
Absolutely, and it brings, people, want to get their message out of what's going on, and there's a lot happening. There's a lot happening in High Valley, so we try to stay in contact with the Wheeling Chamber and St. Clairsville, trade ideas, talk about what projects and things are going up, because there is a lot to do in High Valley. There really is.
And something like a business after hours, if you go to different ones, they're set up a little bit differently, but essentially it's 5 o'clock, you get off work, you go to a local place, and you have some drinks, have something to eat with people in your community who also want to do some type of networking business-wise. I found so much value in what you do there and the ones that you bring together. I've met so many contacts. The last one, I believe, that I attended was at the Four Seasons Pool, and I was able to meet with Thrasher, which is a developer coming into this area that has been really making some inroads, and if I hadn't seen the email come through that you send out weekly, I wouldn't have known that was happening, and it was really beneficial for me and for the United Way, for the community. So I really encourage you, if you're a member of a Chamber of Commerce, attend the events that they put out there for you, and if you're not a member, consider joining. I'm sure Scott would have a great conversation with you about the perks and benefits of being a Chamber member. That's
one of the biggest questions we get. Why would we want to do a business after hours, especially if somebody wants to host them? And I said, well, you have an advertising budget. What we're saying as a Chamber of Commerce, we're going to bring people to showcase your business or your organization. It's a social setting, like you said, supposed to be some hors d'oeuvres, appetizers, get some drinks, and meet people. And you just got to encourage that. I mean, you're really great about doing it, not just with our chamber, with other chambers, but the more people that do that, you talk, you meet people, and I meet people all the time at different events. So it's just one other way to get out there and get in front of people. So it's a great event.
And on that note, when people join the chamber, they're not only connecting through the email. If they don't attend things right away, and if they're warming up to the idea, you're not just connecting through the email, you're connecting to Scott. And Scott has a full network of folks. So if you're trying to get in somewhere or need a contact at a certain location, when you're a chamber member, you have access to Scott's whole directory as well. And you've been excellent at connecting me with folks that when I've needed phone numbers or email addresses too.
Well, it's just amazing. Whatever walk of life you're in, the amount of contacts and relationships you make, those don't change. And I've tried to maintain those relationships with people throughout the years. So you don't have to know everything, but you know other people that can point people in the right direction. So we just try to be a resource at the chamber.
Yeah, and I truly think that you are. And there are breakfasts as well, so you have kind of a connecting in the morning over some coffee and donuts, or meeting at Perkins, or whatever the situation is. And those are always fun too. It's kind of a round table where everyone gets a minute to talk about what's going on in their organization. And those are they a static Monday or?
We usually do them the first week of the month,
Okay.
usually on Tuesdays. We've been debating where to go. We usually go to Perkins in Moundsville. It seems like the best place where you can get a room and actually do the round table and stuff. So we encourage people to come, bring somebody new.
Yep.
It's always interesting to hear somebody new, what they got going on. I try to make it as fun as possible with the spinning wheel or whatever else we can do to encourage people to learn a little bit more about other people. So that's the main thing. It's all about relationships.
Yep, and if you're interested in hearing about any of these things, you can go to the Chamber's website. And then is there a place there that people can sign up their email address to get those weekly?
Absolutely.
Last
Yep.
week you sent
You
out.
can sign right on our website. You can reach out to me. We'll send anybody our newsletter. We share that with 500 some people. We probably have a little less than 300 members, but we have 500 some people get our newsletter. And we post it to our social media, to Facebook every week as well. So it's just a way to stay in contact with what's going on, get some information out there.
And if you're a member and you're not utilizing that, you can send an ad into the Chamber and they'll put it in that newsletter to send out to everybody as
Do
well.
it every Monday. We send it out every Monday morning, so I try to have it out about 8 o'clock every Monday. So no, a lot of people take advantage of it, but a lot of people don't too. It is free for all our members, so we encourage people to use it.
Great. Do you have anything else coming up that you want to talk about?
No, we just have a lot of different events. I mean, it gets really busy during the fall. We're just wrapping up our summer concerts, so we're excited about some of the fundraisers we have coming up.
Good. I'm excited about the annual dinner. That's
Yeah.
one I try to make it to every single year.
Absolutely.
And Gordon Gee, that'll be a good one. And it's the night before that Thursday night WVU game. Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thanks, Scott.
No, thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to Your Town. I hope you learned a little bit more about the happenings in Wheeling and also in Marshall County. There's a lot to do in this community. Most of it is beneficial to nonprofits, but all of it is beneficial to make you feel tighter to your community, and that's what makes the Ohio Valley special. Thanks for joining, and we'll talk to you next week.